Are you in your 50s, 60s, or beyond? Or maybe you have a parent or loved one navigating their senior years. If so, listen up, because some of the foods you've been eating for decades might actually be harming your health without you even realizing it. Surprising, right? But as we age, our metabolism slows down, digestion becomes less efficient, and the risk of health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and weakened bones increases. The surprising part? Some everyday foods that seem completely harmless, or even healthy, can quietly contribute to these problems over time. Now, you might be thinking, but I have eaten these foods all my life, and I feel fine. The reality is that poor dietary choices don't always show their effects overnight. They can slowly lead to fatigue, joint pain, memory decline, and other issues that many people assume are just a natural part of aging. But here's the good news. Avoiding a few key foods and making smarter choices can help you feel stronger, healthier, and more energized. That's exactly what we're covering today. We're breaking down 10 common foods that seniors should avoid to protect their health. But don't worry, we're not just telling you what to cut out. We'll also share delicious, healthier alternatives so you can still enjoy flavorful meals without putting your health at risk. Some of these foods may surprise you, so stick with me until the end. Now let's dive right in and start with the first food that seniors should start avoiding today: full-fat dairy products. We often reach for dairy products thinking they're the key to strong bones and overall health. After all, we've been told for years that milk is essential for keeping bones strong and preventing fractures. And yes, dairy is a good source of calcium and protein, both of which are important as we age. But here's the catch. Not all dairy is created equal, and full-fat dairy products can actually do more harm than good for seniors. As we get older, our metabolism slows down, and our bodies don't process fats as efficiently as they once did. Full-fat dairy, like whole milk, heavy cream, butter, and rich cheeses, is loaded with saturated fats. Consuming too much of these can raise bad cholesterol levels, increase the risk of heart disease, and contribute to weight gain, which can put extra strain on the joints and lead to other health complications. Not to mention, excessive saturated fat intake has also been linked to cognitive decline, making it a concern for brain health as well. Another issue with dairy is that lactose intolerance becomes more common with age. Many seniors find that dairy products cause bloating, gas, or digestive discomfort, even if they never had issues before. This is because our bodies naturally produce less lactase, the enzyme that helps break down lactose, as we age. So, if you've been experiencing stomach troubles after having a glass of milk or a cheesy dish, dairy could be the culprit. And there's one more sneaky concern: bacteria in certain cheeses and unpasteurized dairy products. As we age, our immune systems become less efficient, making foodborne illnesses much riskier. Soft cheeses like brie and camembert, as well as unpasteurized dairy, can harbor harmful bacteria that could lead to serious infections in older adults. Now, does this mean you have to give up dairy entirely? Not necessarily. The key is to make smarter choices. Instead of full-fat dairy, opt for low-fat or plant-based alternatives that provide the same nutrients without the added health risks. Try low-fat Greek yogurt for a protein boost, unsweetened almond or oat milk instead of whole milk, or low-fat cottage cheese instead of heavy, creamy cheeses. If you're looking for calcium-rich options outside of dairy, foods like leafy greens, fortified plant milks, almonds, and tofu are excellent choices. Now let's move on to the next one on our list: processed meats. You might love them for their convenience, rich flavor, and quick prep time, but processed meats come with some hidden dangers that seniors should be aware of. Bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, and even canned meats may seem like easy meal options, but they're packed with unhealthy additives that can take a toll on your health over time. One of the biggest concerns with processed meats is their high sodium content. Many of these meats are loaded with salt to enhance flavor and extend shelf life. However, too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, fluid retention, and increased strain on the heart and kidneys. For seniors who are already at a higher risk for hypertension and heart disease, this can be a serious issue. Another hidden danger is the presence of preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals help keep processed meats fresh, but studies have linked them to an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal cancer. Plus, processed meats are often high in saturated fats, which can raise cholesterol levels and contribute to clogged arteries, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Beyond the long-term risks, processed meats can also be tough on digestion. Many seniors experience digestive issues as they age, and heavily processed foods can contribute to bloating, discomfort, and sluggish digestion. So, what can you do if you love the taste and convenience of processed meats? The key is to make smarter swaps. Instead of reaching for deli meats, try freshly cooked, lean proteins like grilled chicken or turkey, or even plant-based options like hummus or avocado for your sandwiches. If you're craving a hearty breakfast, swap out bacon for a veggie-packed omelet or a side of smoked salmon, which provides healthy omega-3 fats without the harmful additives. Now, let's keep going and talk about the next food that seniors should be cautious about: white bread and refined grains. They might be a staple in your kitchen, from morning toast to sandwiches and pasta dinners. But these highly processed grains offer little nutritional value and can actually do more harm than good. The problem with white bread, white rice, and other refined grains is that they've been stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. Without fiber, these foods digest quickly, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, a major concern for seniors. Not to mention, blood sugar crashes can leave you feeling tired and sluggish. Another issue is that refined grains lack the heart-healthy benefits of whole grains. Whole wheat, oats, quinoa, and brown rice contain fiber, which helps with digestion, keeps cholesterol in check, and supports heart health. If you're used to eating white bread or pasta, switching to whole grain versions can make a significant difference in how you feel. If you're craving something soft and comforting, opt for whole grain or sprouted grain bread, which has more fiber and nutrients. Sprouted grain bread, in particular, is easier to digest and has a lower impact on blood sugar levels. For pasta lovers, whole wheat or legume-based pasta, like chickpea or lentil pasta, is a fantastic option, as it's packed with fiber and protein. And if you love rice, try brown rice, quinoa, or even cauliflower rice for a lighter, more nutrient-dense alternative. These swaps might seem small, but they can go a long way in maintaining stable energy levels, better digestion, and overall health. Food number 4. Grapefruit. Grapefruit might seem like a refreshing and healthy fruit, but for many seniors, it can actually be a hidden danger, especially if you're taking certain medications. This citrus fruit contains compounds that interfere with enzymes in your liver responsible for breaking down many prescription drugs. As a result, medication can build up in your bloodstream to dangerously high levels, increasing the risk of side effects. This interaction is particularly concerning for people on cholesterol-lowering statins, blood pressure medications, and certain anti-anxiety or heart drugs. Even just one glass of grapefruit juice can significantly alter how these medications work, which is why many doctors advise against consuming it if you're on these prescriptions. If you love citrus fruits, don't worry, you don't have to give them up entirely. Oranges, lemons, and limes are great alternatives that don't have the same medication-interfering effects. Now, let's move on to the next food that may be causing more harm than you realize: canned soups and vegetables. Canned soups and vegetables may seem like a convenient and budget-friendly option, but they come with some hidden risks that can be particularly concerning for seniors. The biggest issue? Excess sodium. Canned soups in particular are notorious for their sky-high sodium levels. In fact, some brands pack over 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's nearly half of the recommended daily intake in just one bowl. Too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, swelling, and an increased risk of heart disease and stroke, which are already common concerns for older adults. Canned vegetables, though seemingly healthy, often come soaked in salty brine or preservatives that can add unnecessary sodium to your diet. But that's not the only concern. The high-heat canning process can strip vegetables of essential vitamins like C and B, making them less nutritious than fresh or frozen alternatives. Some canned soups also contain hidden sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial flavor enhancers to improve taste and shelf life, which can lead to blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and weight gain. Now, this doesn't mean you have to swear off soups or veggies altogether. Instead, opt for low-sodium or no-salt-added canned options whenever possible. Better yet, make homemade soups using fresh ingredients. This way, you can control the salt content and add herbs and spices for flavor instead. When buying canned vegetables, rinse them thoroughly under water to remove some of the excess sodium before cooking. Or, even better, go for frozen vegetables instead. They retain their nutrients and don't require added preservatives like many canned varieties do. And if you love the ease of canned soups, try making big batches of homemade soup and freezing portions for later. This way, you get the same convenience without the unhealthy additives. Moving forward, food number 6 is raw sprouts and undercooked foods. Raw sprouts and undercooked foods might seem like nutritious choices, but they can pose serious health risks, especially for seniors. You might love adding sprouts to your salads or enjoy a runny egg with your breakfast. But here's why you may want to rethink these choices. Raw sprouts, such as alfalfa, mung bean, and clover sprouts, can easily harbor harmful bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. Their warm, humid growing conditions make them a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, increasing the risk of foodborne illnesses. And for seniors, whose immune systems may not be as strong as they once were, these infections can lead to severe complications, including dehydration and hospitalization. Similarly, undercooked foods, like soft-boiled eggs, rare meats, and sushi, carry the risk of bacterial contamination. Undercooked eggs may contain salmonella, while raw or undercooked meat and seafood can be contaminated with bacteria and parasites that can cause digestive distress and infections. While younger people might recover quickly, foodborne illnesses can be much more dangerous for older adults. But that doesn't mean you have to give up these foods entirely. If you love sprouts, try opting for cooked versions, such as stir-fried bean sprouts, which still provide nutrients without the bacterial risks. When it comes to eggs, fully cooked options like scrambled, hard-boiled, or poached eggs with firm yolks are much safer choices. And if you enjoy sushi, consider rolls made with cooked seafood like shrimp or smoked salmon instead of raw fish. Next, food number 7, fried foods. Crispy, golden, and delicious. Fried foods are hard to resist, but as tempting as they are, they can take a serious toll on your health. Fried foods are loaded with unhealthy trans fats and excessive calories, which can increase cholesterol, raise blood pressure, and contribute to heart disease. 3 major concerns for seniors. Plus, they're often coated in refined flour, making them even worse for blood sugar levels. So, it's better to avoid them. But what about craving? No worries. Instead of deep-fried options like fries, fried chicken, or onion rings, try baking, grilling, or air-frying your favorite foods for that crispy texture without all the harmful oils. Sweet potato fries, baked chicken tenders, or roasted veggies can satisfy those cravings while keeping your heart and waistline happy. Now, let's move on to the next food that you should avoid: sugary drinks and sodas. A cold, fizzy soda or a sweet iced tea might seem refreshing, but sugary drinks are some of the worst offenders when it comes to hidden health risks. Loaded with added sugars, they can cause dangerous blood sugar spikes, increase inflammation, and contribute to weight gain, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. And let's not forget, excess sugar can also weaken bones by depleting essential minerals like calcium and magnesium, which are crucial as you age. But it's not just sodas. Fruit juices, sports drinks, and flavored coffee drinks can be just as bad, often containing just as much or even more sugar than a can of cola. And while diet sodas may seem like a better alternative, artificial sweeteners have been linked to metabolic issues and gut health problems, so they're not much better. So, what's the smarter choice? Switch to naturally flavored water with lemon, mint, or berries, unsweetened herbal teas, or even homemade infused water for a refreshing and hydrating alternative. If you love the fizz of soda, try sparkling water with a splash of citrus. These simple swaps can help protect your health without sacrificing taste. Food number 9. Artificial sweeteners. Many people turn to artificial sweeteners as a healthier alternative to sugar. But the truth is, they come with their own set of risks, especially for seniors. While they may not contain calories, these sweeteners can still disrupt metabolism, increase cravings for sugary foods, and even negatively impact gut health. Some studies suggest that long-term consumption of artificial sweeteners may be linked to insulin resistance, which can raise the risk of type 2 diabetes. Aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose are commonly found in diet sodas, sugar-free snacks, and even some healthy protein bars. But here's the tricky part. Because artificial sweeteners are intensely sweet, they can actually desensitize your taste buds, making naturally sweet foods like fruits less satisfying over time. So, what's the better alternative? If you need a little sweetness, opt for natural alternatives like stevia, monk fruit, or small amounts of raw honey in moderation. And, when possible, try to retrain your taste buds by reducing your overall sweetness intake. Over time, you'll find that you don't crave it as much. And now, the last food on our list that seniors must avoid is high-sodium snacks. Salty snacks like potato chips, pretzels, and even some seemingly healthy crackers can be a serious issue for seniors. Excess sodium is a major contributor to high blood pressure, heart disease, and kidney problems, which are already more common as we age. The problem is that many processed snacks are loaded with hidden salt, making it easy to consume way more than the recommended daily limit without even realizing it. You might be thinking, but I crave something crunchy and savory. What else can I snack on? The good news is that you don't have to give up snacking entirely. Instead of salty chips, opt for unsalted nuts, air-popped popcorn, or homemade kale chips. You can also try crunchy veggie sticks like carrots and cucumbers with hummus or guacamole for a more nutritious, low-sodium alternative. If you still want a bit of salt, try using herbs and spices like garlic powder, paprika, or nutritional yeast to add flavor without overloading on sodium. Small changes like this can make a huge difference in managing blood pressure and keeping your heart healthy. And there you have it, 10 common foods that could be harming your health without you even realizing it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. See you in the next video.